Good morning, everyone. Here's your Mormon news update for October 3rd, 2024. First off today, we will start with a question. Are Mormon men being offered less modest garment tops? Here is a picture of what one Redditor is claiming the Mormon Church now offers to men as a top for their garments. The most devout Mormons wear garments as underwear under their clothes and make sure the garments do not show by properly covering them with their outer clothing. Men's garment tops used to have sleeves, and if these tops really are being offered to Mormon men, now it seems that porn shoulders, as many former Mormons like to call them, are going to be the new fashion trend in Mormonism. Now let's talk about conference. This weekend will be the church's general conference, which is held twice a year. To facilitate more people attending or gathering on Temple Square in Salt Lake City, the following is being offered. Here are the details in a post from the Temple Square Facebook page. We are excited to welcome members and friends from around the world to Temple Square to participate in the upcoming General Conference. Anyone with a ticket to General Conference will be able to use that ticket to ride Utah Transit Authority trains, buses, and light rail free of charge as they travel to and from conference. Simply show your printed or electronic General Conference ticket as proof of fare to ride for free. Thank you, Utah Transit Authority, UTA. We are pleased to announce a standby line will be available outside the Tabernacle for overflow seating and potential seating in the conference center as available. If you don't have tickets to General Conference but would like to attend, please join the standby line outside the Tabernacle. You may access the Tabernacle from the West Gate located on West Temple Street. We look forward to gathering this weekend to hear messages of peace and hope through Jesus Christ. And now to an article from SeattlePI.com about the Mormon Church's temple building. It says a historic building boom of big, bright Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints temples, beacons to the faithful with steeples pointing heavenward around the world, is meeting resistance in some parts of the U.S., including one place not really known for moderation. In Las Vegas, just a 30-minute drive from glittery casinos, homeowners in a rural foothills neighborhood complained the size and lighting of a temple that won city approval will forever change the dark sky environment. Some say they feel trampled, and that church and city officials rushed to approve the project. Most temples built by the faith have been well received, but the Las Vegas fight mirrors objections over construction plans in Texas, Wyoming, and even the religion's home state of Utah. The battles are forcing the faith, known widely as the Mormon Church, to explain to non-members why the lavish temples are so vital to their beliefs. Temples draw the faithful closer to God, they say. They are places for the most sacred ceremonies such as weddings that seal couples for eternity and baptisms to bring deceased family members or others into the fold. Officials insist they consult with locals and carefully design temples for each environment. Thousands of supporters and vocal opponents packed planning meetings for months before the Las Vegas City Council unanimously approved a 3-story temple in July. Larger in size than the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, it's set to have a golden steeple soaring nearly 200 feet. New temple projects could be announced at this weekend's twice-a-year church conference, where congregants of the 17.2 million member faith gather in person in Salt Lake City or watch online for guidance and church news. I would love to hear your speculations about how many temples you think President Nelson will announce and where those temples might be located. What the faithful won't hear is how much the elaborately built and lavishly furnished temples cost. The church declines to disclose construction figures, but its investment arm has a portfolio worth nearly $55 billion, according to its most recent U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission disclosures. The SEC fined the church and its money management arm $5 million in February 2023 for using shell companies to obscure the size of church financial holdings. Scrutiny focused on whether the tax-exempt faith sits atop a treasure trove of wealth. The government noted the church was concerned that disclosure of its portfolio would lead to unspecified negative consequences, aka people might stop paying tithing. The temple building push went into hyperdrive after President Russell M. Nelson became head of the church in January 2018. About half of new temples have been built since then. Nelson, who turned 100 in September, named 15 new temple locations during a conference last April to bring the total that are announced, open, or under construction to 350. It is the biggest building boom in the history of the faith, said Matt Martinick, a researcher and church member who tracks the growth of the global religion. Construction accelerated after 1980 from 19 temples worldwide to 122 by 2005. The 150th temple opened in Provo, Utah in 2016. The church says 5 are due to open before the end of 2024 in Honduras, Paris, Brazil, Tooele, Utah, Casper, Wyoming, and Tallahassee, Florida. Church officials may argue that not being able to have tall steeples infringes on their right to worship. They point to the federal Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act that since 2000 has banned the use of zoning and landmarking laws to discriminate against religious assemblies or institutions. Henry Lessner, the mayor of Fairview, Texas, predicted that his town on the edge of the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area might end up as a test case for religious architectural freedom. Do you think that the Mormon Church should be able to defy zoning laws and build temples whatever size it wants? Post your opinions in the comments. And now an update on Sacrament meeting attendance reporting. The church refuses to be transparent about its real membership numbers, the amount of members that regularly attend Sunday meetings, or patronize one of its now many temples. They're tight-lipped about their finances, including how much money they bring in and how and where the money goes out. Return and Report is attempting to make their own record and have set up a site where members who are attending church can send in reports of how many people show up for Sacrament meeting. If you would like to help with their effort or to see the latest stats, simply go to returnandreport.org. Here are the latest numbers for the week of September 29, 2024. 9 reports were submitted from 6 states and Switzerland. Average attendance was 186.2, with a global ward size average of 548. Average attendance rate is 34%. 409 reports have been submitted since inception. The rolling average attendance overall is 115 people for a rate of 21%. If you attend church, you can count people and contribute for the next report. Next, let's read a post from the ex-Mormon subreddit entitled, "Came out to my true believing Mormon mom as transgender, male to female. She wishes I was dead. Well, almost." And then it shows a snippet of a text message from this person's mother that says, "And do whatever you want. I cannot force you to do what you should, just like you cannot force me to call you a different name or pronoun. I hope we can still respect each other and at least stay civil. I'm not sure I want to see you. I don't know if I could bear seeing my handsome son as a 6'3" woman. I feel like you've already died and I almost wish you had." Note that I said almost. I understand if you don't want to talk to me after this. I do wonder if this Mormon mother is feeling empowered after the church recently came out with new policies restricting transgender members' ability to worship in the Mormon Church. And now to another post from Reddit that says, "Ward realignment happening right now in the belly of the beast, Salt Lake County. I brought an immediate family member to their special stake meeting in Sandy Cottonwood Heights, right in good old Salt Lake County. Of course, they'll not reveal deets until after the songs, the speakers, and more soft-spoken manipulations. Excuse me, please, for prayerful consideration, their sustaining vote, etc. Stake president is the first up. Not a sentence in his voice was warbling. Tears are trickling down, etc. Not triggering me at all. Also, there's a small part of me that feels not sorry for him, but something along the lines of, none of this is real or matters, at least in the way he's experiencing it. That makes me hurt for him, particularly in hearing the garbage heaped on him and the hoops the Q70 made him jump through for this, etc. Anywho, I will return and report if this meeting ever concludes, hopefully with a pic or two." Edited to add, Stake was created 25 years ago and has never had a realignment. Membership from 4,300 down to 2,800. Can't post pics of boundaries, but there is a comment below with them. And here are the pictures that were in the comments. Here's what the boundaries originally looked like, and here is what they have been realigned to look like. The wards are down from 9 to 6. Oh, and this is all for the youth. Don't you want the youth to be strong and have the best possible chance against the world and the adversary? They are at risk. Here is a youth, insert adorable 12-year-old, to tell us how much he needs our help. Jesus redrew these ward boundaries in my mind in the temple. I never in a million years could have come up with this on my own. So if you are struggling or have an issue with this, take it up with Jesus. Good luck with that. And that's your update for today, folks. Tell me, will you be watching the Mormon General Conference this weekend? I'm on the fence about it. Either way, I absolutely hope you have the day that you deserve.